This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and create actual, amazing, real relationships. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of the Fine Print podcast on Ramsey Networks, is my co-host today as we take your questions about your life and your money. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Aaron in Lexington starting off this hour. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
Good. First time caller.
Well, we're honored to have you. How can we help?
Well, we just came into a little bit of money as a settlement that I'm sure that we're going to have to pay taxes on. And it's about $210,000. So just trying to figure out what we should do with it. We've already debt free. We've used your plan over the years, not faithfully, but we've used it, and everything we've got is paid off, and the mortgage is paid off. And so I'm just trying to figure out what to do with this. What's the best way not to pay taxes on it? Because obviously, I think on this is going to put us over another tax bracket that we're going to have to pay a lot of taxes on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was the settlement for?
Just a previous work. Not to disclose.
Well, I mean, was it like a workers' comp type situation?
There was some past employer.
A past employer?
Yeah.
Were you hurt physically?
No. So it's going to be taxed. It will be taxed on it.
How do you know?
Yeah. Well, they were already in time. We should get a 1099 for it. So
that doesn't matter. How do you know it's going to be taxed? Them giving you a 1099 doesn't mean that you are taxed. There's two types of settlements. There's punitive and compensatory. Okay, compensatory is compensation. If this is lost wages or compensation that they're paying you on, or back wages that they didn't pay you accurately, then that's going to be taxable. Punitive may or may not be taxable, and so you need to talk to your tax advisor to be sure. Your old company or your lawyer shouldn't be giving you tax advice. You need to go get that on your own, number one. But let's pretend it is taxable. We need to calculate what the taxes are going to be, and the first thing we're going to do is set the taxes aside out of it so that the money's sitting there next April and you're ready to go, right? You write the check.
Right.
And then that leaves you the rest of it to do something with. But you are not, you don't have medical bills due to an injury is associated with this, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
All right. Well, there's only, you said you're out of debt completely. You don't have a payment in the world, including your house, which means you've got all the options in the world. And so there's only three things you can do with this money. You can give some, you can save some, you can spend it. And I would encourage you to do all three. If this is just kind of fun money now, you have to use at your disposal. So maybe you spend a little bit of it, but I would encourage you to give some as well, and maybe invest some of that, because that can turn into a whole bunch more money down the road in your retirement.
George is exactly right. So, Aaron, when we're dealing with people in baby step 7, and sometimes very wealthy people that are in baby step 7, which is where you are, and they get a check. Maybe it's an NFL player. Maybe it's an author like me that gets a royalty check in the mail, and it's a big old check like that. Then you have to say, before the check comes, I'm going to set aside a percentage for giving, a percentage for enjoyment, and a percentage for investing. And to encourage me to do all three of those things. And then, like in my case, Aaron, what I do is I just apply that percentage that I figured out to every check I get now. Because, I mean, above my living expenses, which are moderately low, okay? But, I mean, I get in my income coming from several sources. I just get a check in. I go, okay, what I do is I'm a Christian, so I give a 10th tithe to my local church. I got to set aside 40% because I'm wealthy and I must be punished by the federal government. So that's the 40% for taxes, and so that's 50% of the check's gone right there. That leaves me another 50% to divvy up among more giving, some lifestyle enjoyment, and some investing. And I would encourage you to do minimal lifestyle investing or lifestyle maximum investing, and something that might feel even a little bit heavy to you on the generosity side. You don't owe anybody anything. And where this money came from or the result of whatever it came from doesn't really matter to me. You still should apply it to those three things. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but make sure you set your taxes aside before we start having any of this discussion. Or if you're going to do it like me, you're going to set aside 40% for taxes. I set aside 10% for my local church, my tithe. I'm an evangelical Christian, and then I got half of it left. Here we go.
That balance helps,
and
though.
You know, and
you feel good
it's
about
automatic. It's automatic. I don't have to think about it. I can enjoy the percentage that I set aside for enjoyment because I know I was like a grown-up with the rest of it, and I know I'm not messing up something, right? Not, avoiding investing, and so that's what you always want to do. And by the way, that's what we teach parents to teach little kids.
Oh yeah, we have our Give, Save, Spend piggy bank over there, and you can teach these principles at a very young age.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Tim is in Hartford, Connecticut. Hi, Tim. How are you?
Good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I'm a long-time listener and a first-time caller, so it's hard to start the call with telling you you're wrong. But if you hear me out for 1 second, people say, "How are you?" and you say, "Better than I deserve." With the amount of people you have helped, with the amount of lives you have changed, giving people encouragement and changing their lives, you're not better than you deserve. You are deserving of everything you have, and I thank you for all you've done.
You're very kind, sir. You're very kind. It's a theological statement. I deserve hell, and I'm not going because of Jesus, okay? So it's a statement of grace, but yeah, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it shows your humility, but thank you for changing our lives. I got a 401k question for you. I understand the 401k's plan is for the long term, and we don't freak out right now because the market's down and that kind of stuff. However, knowing that we're in a bear market, why wouldn't I put a big hunk of my 401k into kind of a guaranteed fund to stop these losses for X number of months until the market turns around, so that when it does, I'm starting to build again on a higher balance, not a lower balance?
Yeah. The problem is, if you knew when the market was going to turn around, you would be running Wall Street.
True. And I know you can't time the market, but obviously...
Exactly. Which is exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah, agreed. But I think everybody's in agreement that it's not going to recover in the very near future.
Who's in agreement?
I don't know. If you mean by Friday, I agree with you. If you mean by September, I'm not sure if I know that.
Yeah, true. No, we don't know that for sure. But, the losses are so big now, I just keep looking back and saying, had I put it in this guaranteed fund, I'd be $200,000 ahead in my 401k.
Yeah, but every dollar you're buying now, when it comes back, you're going to be $200,000 ahead with.
You'll have more regret on that side. You're going, man, I should have left it in there and bought more when it was on sale.
It's on sale, man.
True. I would be foregoing the growth. But
the answer to your question is, I personally have not touched my 401k. Have you, George?
Same. Leave it alone.
I'm loading it up. I am tempted to actually put more into the market right now, but I, as a matter of principle, don't try to time the market, so I'm not going to do that. But I think the market's on sale. I think it's a great buy right now, and I'm kind of excited. This is The Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
Well, on July 14th, we're going to be hosting a free live stream called the Real Estate Reality Check. People are scared. They're mad about the prices, the interest rates, what's going on with the housing market. And based on all of their emotions, some of you have made incorrect conclusions, which are going to harm you if you act on them. So we're going to help you with that. We're going to talk you through what's happening with the housing market, what is real. The pain is real. The frustration is real. The anger and the fear is real. But there are also facts and data that affect this. The housing market is not going to crash. Mark it down. I said it here. I've said it a bunch of times in the last several weeks. I'm going to say it again with charts and graphs.
That's a first.
On the 14th. Yeah, I'm going to do something I don't like doing, but I'm going to actually show you the actual data and teach you so that you can calm your butt down in some cases. So if you want to know what's going on with the real estate market, George Camel, Rachel Cruz, and I will be doing this event. We're going to go through what is really happening under the hood of the real estate market, so then you can draw your own conclusions after we teach you. If you agree with here's the actual data, here's the facts. Now you agree with our conclusions or not based on that.
Can you disagree with data? I guess you could try.
People do all the time. Yeah, they're called Democrats. So, all right. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You can sign up for this reality check. RamseySolutions.com/reality. RamseySolutions.com/reality. On July the 14th, it's a free live stream. So I've got a buddy of mine that's a Democrat that's running for office. That's why that was top of mind.
Oh, nice. I hope he's listening.
He and I love each other, and we love to argue with each other.
I would love to
and
be a fly on the wall.
he always, I did that kind of for him because he listens, and I know he'll call me now, and he'll give me a hard time.
That was basically a shout out for him.
So I couldn't resist just throwing a little grenade over the radio waves. So the rest of you that are Democrats and now you're all pissed off, you missed the point. It was not a pissed off thing. That's called humor, and it's just for my buddy and
Their
me.
sarcasm detector isn't working, Dave.
Well, I sometimes I don't hit the note. I don't hit the sarcasm note, and I don't use the font correctly when I'm writing. Sometimes there's a sarcasm font. I think
is that it?
There should be when we're writing.
Comic Sans.
So George, back to our last caller for a second, because that is also a point of concern out there. The bear market, and if we want to be sarcastic and funny, we can say scary bear. Scary bear, because the bear market, the stock market's down 20%. So he said he lost $200,000. So he had $1 million in his 401k. Last caller, probably somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, makes sense.
And he hasn't lost $200,000 unless he sold it, because there's two types of gains. There's recognized and realized. Recognized is I recognize that my balance is down, but until I sell it, I didn't lock in the losses.
It hasn't become reality.
It is not realized. We're just recognizing. And from tax purposes, we use that terminology, accounting purposes, but it also is kind of a factual thing that, like during the drop of 2008 and the market went from 13,000 to 6,500, it went in half. It went down 50%. People were interviewing Warren Buffett. Mr. Buffett, didn't you just lose $83 billion? And he said, no, I didn't lose anything.
Haven't sold anything.
It's just riding down and ride it back up. Mm-hmm. And of course it went down from 6,500 to 13,000 and then back to 39,000. Wow. From there, 3x above. So turns out Mr. Buffett was right.
To both the stock market and the real estate market, perspective is what keeps you from making poor decisions. So when you look at that perspective and go, oh, it went back up to 39%, probably should have stayed in the market.
$39,000. Yeah. When you pan back and you see history, it can calm you down. That's a good thing to do. It helps me. And so let's talk about actual history and data on bear market. So bear market is any time that the stock market goes down more than 20% in value, which we're in the middle of a bear market. Since World War II, post-Great Depression, there have been 14 bears.
It's a lot of bears.
Yep. We have had a bear problem. So, and the average length of a bear market during those 14 is 13 months, and the average time to recover back to ground zero, back to where it was before the decrease started, is about 24 months, 26 months, 23 months. I've read 3 different articles, but it's right in there, right around 2 years. And so if we go back to the first of the year, which is where we're measuring the decline from, and you go out 2 years from January 1 of 22, that'd be January 1 of 24, the average is it will have recovered by then.
Wow.
Which means that there's a chance it will recover sooner, and there's a chance it could recover later. That's the average of 14 different events. And so you've got a lot of actual data to look at.
The chances of
here.
this one being drastically different, I don't see that happening.
Well, it's not as extreme as 2008. And, of course, the more extreme it drops, so far it's not. The more extreme it drops, the longer it would take to recover, typically. It would, unless it just shot back up due to some kind of a magical economic pill or something. But, so here's the story. You're 52 years old, and you're panicking because your retirement lost $200,000 of your $1 million. I don't know how old that guy was. I'm making this up, okay? At 54, you'll be back, on average. Chance you'll be back by 53. Chance you'll be back by 55. The chances at 65 of you being down based on historical data are precisely 0. Calm your butt down. Okay? That's what that says. I'm getting ready to be 62. I'm not going to be using my money that's in the stock market in my 401k or my other mutual fund investments, maybe ever, unless I used it to buy some real estate. But I mean, so I easily can let it sit there till death, and
you'll be okay.
But I mean, the chances of me statistically, I'm healthy at 62, zero medication, on average, moderately good condition. On average, the actuarial tables say I'm going to live to 90. Okay, so I've got 28 years to ride this out, not 28 months. So I'm real comfortable with putting more in right now while it's down, because it's on sale if you keep that perspective.
And you've got a long-term vision.
And, so you pan back, like you said, perspective gives you hope. People lose hope when they lose their perspective. And the joke that we always used was one of my daughters didn't get asked to the prom by one of those boys. And that night, it was a long night. There was wailing and gnashing of teeth. It was so very sad. And her mother and I were supposed to go in and comfort her in her moment of heartbreak, but we were having trouble not laughing in the hallway.
Because it was so dramatic that it was funny?
Well, because we've been to our 20-year class reunion, and we know when she sees him, then she'll be glad. We have the perspective of time, right? We know that this heartbreak is not the end of the world, although it is the end of the world for her at this moment. But she does not have the perspective of time because she's a newbie.
Can you tell us which daughter this is, or is this private?
No, not a chance.
I'm just going to guess it was Rachel.
No.
Just a guess.
No, I have a great poker face, George. I'll never reveal that. It was bad enough that I told the story to start with.
That's fair.
But the point being, you lose perspective. When you lose perspective, there's a good chance you lose hope. In order to think that the world is coming to an end, you have to have a fairly short window that you're looking at, because there's no long-term window data that indicates that. Only the panic of the moment, the flavor of the week here at Baskin-Robbins. But, that's what we're dealing with, right?
Yeah. And when you look at the data, you kind of get what you're looking for. If you're looking for panic, you'll probably find it in the headlines, and you'll probably find doomsday. But if you look at the charts and the graphs and history, and you live your life by these principles, you can kind of just breathe easy. The weight's not there when you start looking for that.
If you're in Bitcoin, there is reason to panic.
Absolutely. I could tell you stories for days, Dave. The really sad stuff happening with the crypto bros out there.
The crypto bros they're hurting.
They were declined for prom, let's say.
We're going to...
There's the analogy.
They've been rejected.
Throwing temper tantrums.
No date for the prom.
Sorry, crypto
bros.
bro,
no date for the prom.
I don't think they're going to prom, Dave. They're not the type.
Oh, sad. We need to form a support group for them.
We should. A Dave Ramsey Crypto Bro support group. Make that happen, guys.
I would think that one would sign up. Maybe one. Because they just wouldn't be looking for a lot of mercy, right? This is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. George Camel Ramsey personality is my co-host today. That's not right. Can you put that back on hold for me? Thank you. I screwed that up. All right. All right. Jamie and Deborah are with us in Georgia now that I pushed the right button to do a debt-free scream. What's up, guys?
Hey, Dave.
Welcome. How much have you paid off?
We've paid off $245,655.71.
Whoa! How long did this take?
64 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
79 to 110,000.
Excellent. Well, I'm guessing with the length of time and the amount of money that you paid off your house.
Yes, we did.
Woo! Talking to weird people!
Yes.
How old are you, weird people?
49. And I'm 48, almost 49.
And you have a paid-for house and you're not even 50.
No, sir.
What's this house worth?
About $160,000.
Phenomenal. Well done. So the $246 was the house and other stuff.
That's right. Yeah, we had to pay off the IRS a little bit. We paid for my car. We had 15 credit cards that we paid off. We paid off a timeshare and a loan in addition to our mortgage.
Wow.
Crap, y'all were normal.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, man, way to go. This is a big turnaround. 5 years and 4 months of busting it, huh?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Whoa. How's it feel to be free?
It's the best feeling in the world. It's just incredible.
Tell us the story of what happened and how you got plugged into the Ramsey stuff.
Well, so I'm a nerd, and I would lay awake at night, and I wondered, how were we going to keep paying all of our payments? How could we keep our timeshare? What's going to happen when the credit cards are maxed out? So we knew enough about your program to know that we needed more income. So we downloaded EveryDollar, and we went to work. For the last 64 months, we've been cleaning offices, doing laundry, worked at the grocery store deli, worked at a honey store, did product demonstrations, and for the last year of our payoff, we sewed masks during the pandemic. And that's in addition to our full-time jobs.
Oh, my goodness.
Whoa.
Y'all been busy.
So out of all these side hustles, what was the one that paid the most?
The office cleaning, definitely.
Yeah, it's big money. Yeah. So how much money you make selling masks?
Oh, goodness. That's one thing I don't have on my piece of paper, but
That's
it was
okay.
enough to pay off our last few credit cards.
Okay, great.
So you made a few $100 at least.
That's awesome. Because, I mean, that's a business that is no more.
Yeah, temporary.
Please, Jesus. Please, Jesus. It is no more. Yeah, really. Oh, my gosh. Somebody run that alien Fauci out of town. Okay, anyway, all right, so well, I'm glad you guys, I'm happy for the people in the plexiglass business. They made some money. So it's good. Way to go, you guys. So,
Thanks.
Man, you guys, you just rolled up your sleeves and hustle, hustle, hustle. So, like, your mom and dad were people who said, work hard.
Oh, yes, and our grandparents, too, that whole generation.
What was on the other side of this thing that you guys were kind of aiming towards, the vision that you had, the why, where you went, this is why we're doing this?
Well, we have our 18-year-old son, Parker, with us here today. We were doing all of this for him. He's been our biggest cheerleader and our biggest reason that we've been doing all of this.
Yeah, you modeled that sacrifice for him, and that's ingrained in him now.
Absolutely. He bought his first car with cash.
Yay!
We're very proud of him.
Yeah, now we're passing down weirdness as a family trait. I love it.
Sure.
Good for you guys. Well done. Okay, outside the three of you, who was cheering you on?
Well, our family and our friends and our coworkers, our Sunday school class at church. We've got a great network of cheerleaders.
That's good. That's good. Sounds like you got good friends that are wishing good things for you all the time, not running you down.
Yes, sir, we do.
That's good. Very cool, guys. Very cool. All right, what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? $246,000 in 64 months.
Well, I would say that hard work pays off. Make a budget, make a plan, and stick to it. Keep Christ in the center of the home and in the family.
And I would say use the Every Dollar app, and don't stop tithing while you're getting out of debt.
Amen. Amen. So this whole exercise was very much a spiritual exercise for you all.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Now, the whole idea of stewardship, managing God's resources well, had to play a part with the language you're using.
Mm-hmm. He has blessed us, and we give him all the praise and glory for it.
Amen. Amen. Well done, you guys. You're rock stars, heroes. You have a paid-for house, and you're not even 50.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Did you ever dream, like when you got married, that you were going to be there by the time you were 50?
No way.
No. You know, a lot of us got married, that are in our 50s or 60s now, and we just thought it's mortgages for your whole life. We thought that was the definition of the word.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to have a car payment. I heard that my whole life.
Mm-hmm. We did too.
Little man can't get ahead. You're always going to have a car payment. Like Eeyore is your spirit animal or something.
Right.
Yeah, that's out there, man. It's out there. So you guys busted that chain. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Well done. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's the next chapter in your story. Go on and become millionaires and continue to be generous and outrageously generous as well. And, of course, a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away. And we're going to send you a gift card for the one-year subscription to Financial Peace University, to the membership to that. The brand new videos are on it. If you haven't been through the class, it's a chance for you to go through it or give it to someone. Either way, we're giving you all these things. You enjoy them, give them away, help other people with them. You guys are incredible.
You're going to inspire a lot of people with your story.
Amen.
Awesome.
Thank you both.
It's a great, great story. All right, Jamie and Deborah in Georgia, $246,000 paid off in 64 months. That's their house and everything. They're not even 50. They're rocking it. Did it making 79 to 110 and 83 side hustles. Way to go. Count it down, guys. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yeah! That's how it's done, boys and girls. That's how it's done. This is a decision. It's a decision you have to live with. Man. Beautifully done. Davey is in Louisville. Hi, Davey. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks, Dave. How are y'all doing today?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, so short version is my wife and I, brand spanking new newlyweds. We've been at this for 3 or 4 months now. So short that I can't keep time. And then not too far into our wedding, the Lord decided to bless us with not one, but 2 babies on the way.
Oh, my goodness.
And
Party.
Yeah. Let me tell you. And so we've been, we're in baby, we're in baby step 2.
Mm-hmm.
But, so my wife's a teacher and I'm a seminary student.
Mm-hmm.
I work part-time, but I just got my life insurance license. So hoping, that can take, I hit the ground hustling and that takes off. But my question really is, how do we pause as far as paying down debt and snowballing versus saving up for the babies? They're not due until December, January, but with 2 of them,
there's a lot of excitement on the way.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be making minimum payments and kind of pausing the debt snowball until we can stack up enough cash and mom and the babies come home safe. And then when that big pile of cash is sitting there, we throw it at the debt.
Yeah, anytime you're facing an emergency situation, a potential layoff, a baby on the way, that kind of thing, we always tell you to push pause. Push the pause button. And that means you pay minimum payments. You still live on beans and rice, but all the cash that you are going to be throwing at your debts, you pile it up, what George just said. And we want to have as big a pile of cash as possible. Mom and babies come home in December. Everybody's good. We didn't need any of the cash. Hospital covered insurance covered what it's supposed to. Everything's good. Well, we take all that money, we throw it at the debt, and we push play again. But in the meantime, you've got this nice cushion.
Yes. I like to call it storm and stork.
Brand new, married, and 2 babies on the way.
That is storm and stork. There's a lot going on there. Wow.
Stork and storm.
Very
Storm
exciting
and stork.
times.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Happy for you guys.
Wow. That's going to be amazing. But yeah, if you need a big pile of cash, it'll give you some peace right now. This is The Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. This is The Ramsey Show, where common sense is for your dollars and cents. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Sarah is with us. Sarah is in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, thank you. So my question, my husband got some stock options from a company he was working for a few years ago. The money has gone from about $100,000 to it just got valued at $1 million a couple weeks ago. So we're trying to decide how much to pull out of the company and how much to leave in. We anticipate it'll keep doing pretty well, but also don't want to be messed up if we're wrong.
Wow. What's your total net worth?
For probably like 600, and then this 600 besides this.
Ooh, wow! So way over half is in this one company.
Yeah, we have a lot in it.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, because in other words, you bet the farm on this one company. You went to a horse race and you put your daddy's deed for his farm on one horse.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's scary. That's what they mean by bet the farm.
It is.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So I don't buy single stocks at all because of the risk of what we're talking about, the lack of diversification. If someone is in love with their company and their company stock and they want to buy some, I recommend they not have more than 10% of their net worth tied up in company stock, and that means you would have no more than $160,000 tied up in this.
Okay.
That didn't sound like to me you were going to sell. That didn't sound didn't sound like you were going to sell $800,000 to me.
That should sound like I will try to convince my husband that that's what we should do.
That's the tough part. He's getting starry-eyed going, but what if this turns into 1.5 or 2? I mean, this is our retirement.
Yeah, exactly. So
here's
that's where we've been, and it's been working out, but it's getting a little big for
That's
comfort.
what they said about Bitcoin. So the another way you can talk to him about it then, because that's what you're trying to do, is to figure out how to discuss this logically. The Harvard Investment Newsletter about 20-something years ago had a beautiful article in it called Sunk Cost Analysis. And the danger of someone in your situation is that when you're analyzing, you have $1 million in a stock. And when you're analyzing whether to keep it that way or do something different, you are bringing into the analysis the fact that you only paid 100 and some change for it, and it's grown to $1 million over many years. It feels like found money in a sense. Okay? And that's that is an improper analysis by anyone in the investment world. Even people that disagree with me will tell you that's an improper analysis. The proper analysis goes like this. Pretend like you had $1 million piled in the middle of your kitchen table right now in cash, and you did not own this stock. What would you do with that $1 million? Would you go buy this stock with $1 million off your kitchen table?
No.
You see how that feels different than what I said earlier? You need to get it down to 160. And what that does is, here's what that triggers in your brain. Here's the part of your critical thinking skills that forces. And you can go ahead and discuss this whole thing with your husband, and you should, or play this back for him, okay? It makes you, when you look at it that way, it makes you analyze nothing about the past and only the future. And you say, what immediately goes through your head before you went, well, no, I wouldn't do that. What went through your head was something like this. Okay, I don't want that much of my net worth tied up in a single stock, number one. The second thing is, I'm not that sure that this company is that great that I would put it all in this one company. I don't know. I mean, maybe I would rather do something else with it. And all of a sudden, the possibilities of other things come across your eyelids rather than just, I own this and it's awesome.
Okay.
So you can say, it makes you look for, the only proper analysis of an investment is forward looking, not looking at how you got here. Where you got the money is irrelevant. What it does in the future is the only thing you're analyzing when you analyze whether I keep it or not. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense.
Yeah,
that is a good argument. I might get somewhere with that.
That's the sunk cost analysis. In other words, whatever you paid for it doesn't matter. Let's pretend you paid. Pretend you paid $2 million for it, and now it's worth $1 million. The same question will keep you from, because that stock, if it went from $2 million to $1 million, might go to $200,000. It could go on down, right? Now, that's not happening with this company, but this is the reverse side of that same argument. If you're looking at $1 million and you're going, well, I'm going to wait till it comes back up because I paid $2 million for it. A lot of people say stuff like that, right? And if you do that, that's sunk cost analysis. That's a bad analysis. Instead, you say, okay, what do I really think this is going to do only in the future? Oh, God, I'm pretty sure it's going to go down. Well, then why would you buy it? And by keeping it one more day, you just bought it again. It's the same, has the same exact effect on your balance sheet. So, yeah, if I'm in your shoes, knowing what I know from 30 years of building wealth, and I don't own any single stocks, I'm not mad about it. I just don't buy them. I don't get tempted to count on my own ego for picking one stock that's going to be a home run. I don't own any, but if I did, I would not own more than 10% of my net worth in a single stock.
So in this situation, Dave, this is going to create a big taxable event if she sells off this many shares.
Probably.
Do you obviously work with a tax advisor on this, but is there a strategy to go, we're going to stagger this out so it doesn't, shoot us into $1 million income a year?
You can split over 2 years, but other than that, no. You're gonna get taxed on it.
So you just put aside a big chunk of that money to pay the tax bill.
If you want to split it over 2 years, you can to reduce the pain. And so sell some now, sell some more January 2. But, you're waiting from now to January 2 in this current market, that thing could go down.
Yeah.
It scares me. If I woke up this morning in her shoes, I'd be done with $800,000 of it by morning.
Well, it feels a little bit like you're at the casino, and now you're up $900,000. You
exactly.
Go, hey, we're crushing it. Let's keep going. And then all of a sudden, it can turn on a dime.
Exactly.
So that does scare me.
Yeah,
me and you don't like losing money at the casino. We'll leave that to other people.
It's easy for me to not lose money at the casino because I don't go. So, it's not the casino because it's not gambling. This is actually investing, but it can turn on you that fast with a certain company.
And with a single stock.
There's stuff going on at a company that size that no one knows except 5 people that could. The news comes out tomorrow on the CEO, did this or that. My God, all of a sudden the things.
Shareholders get spooked.
Your million's $500,000.
Yeah.
One of the saddest things I ever saw in this was there's a Procter & Gamble, which is a wonderful company, and I have no idea what their stock is doing these days. But years ago, I had a widow that had worked for Procter & Gamble 38 years that I was coaching on money. And she came in, and she was just crying, and she had put all of her 401k money in P&G stock, and it was down 38%. And so her $750,000 looked like, it looked like $400,000. And it was awful. And she had lost basically half of her retirement.
Scary.
Almost, because she had bet it all. And it's a wonderful big company, but that doesn't mean the stock is wonderful, And it certainly doesn't mean it's a great vehicle for your wealth with. You can have a good company and even a stock that's okay or that has a good potential future, but none of them are good enough that I want to bet my half of my net worth on them.
Yeah.
Whew.
That's tough.
Scares the crap
You're never
out
going to go public, Dave, are you? No one's going to see the Ramsey stock hit the market anytime soon, because then that means you got to report to the shareholders.
That means a lot of stuff that I'm not going to do.
Yeah. So sorry, folks, if you're looking forward to the Ramsey stock, it's not happening.
I can assure you it's doing okay. It's doing just fine. Thank you very much. Those
you get all the voting around here.
That's it. I am the sole arbitrator of stupidity and genius both. So there it goes.
It's worked out.
But yeah, at least we know whose fault it was, right?
One person in charge, one person to blame. There we go.
George Camel, Ramsey personality, my co-host today. This is the Ramsey Show. Thanks to Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, and Kelly in the booth, taking care of us and making sure you get this broadcast over the airwaves to all 22 million of you. Thanks for being out there on YouTube, on podcast, and on radio. We love all of you. This is the Ramsey Show.
Do you love a good Dave rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. George Camel, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Bob is in Camden, New Jersey to start off this hour. Hey, Bob, how are you?
Doing pretty well, Dave. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Well, I wanted to get your take on the idea of purchasing a home with a land lease agreement as being sort of a middle-of-the-road solution between renting and then traditional home ownership.
So what is the structure of the deal?
So basically, I would be able to purchase a home, which would be and a decent quality smaller home, like 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, for about $100,000, which I could immediately pay most, if not the entire price, and essentially have no mortgage. However, I would have to pay approximately $800 a month on the land lease agreement. So it would effectively be a giant HOA agreement. And I see that as a middle-of-the-road solution between continuing to rent and paying $1,500 to $2,000 a month in rent, which I don't really want to do, or at the same time buying a traditional home in South Jersey, which unfortunately the average nice home in South Jersey these days, you're looking at $400,000, which would take on all kinds of debt, and I'm a big believer in the debt is dumb mentality. So being a centrist kind of guy that tries to find answers in the middle, I was wondering if the land lease agreement might be a happy medium for me.
How long is the land lease?
I don't know offhand. I want to say, as far as I know, it would be an indefinite agreement, but yeah, there is a concern.
It can't be by law. It has to have a cutoff. If it's approaching infinity, it'd be a 50-year, but they don't. A lease has to have an end date, or it's not a valid contract in any state. So,
gotcha. I would have to look into that more deeply. I appreciate you bringing up that point.
If it is a short lease, a short-term lease, 100% no. Okay. If it's a long-term lease, you can do it. And the downside is it's almost impossible for a buyer to buy this from you with traditional financing. FHA, VA, Fannie Mae will not write a mortgage on this deal. So your pool of buyers when you get ready to sell is going to be small. Thus, you're not going to get much appreciation.
Okay.
The long-term land lease is almost never used in a residential setting. It's typically used in a commercial setting. And it's not unusual at all to do like a build-to-suit with a long-term land lease and, a 25-year lease or a 30-year lease. And during that time, the investor that actually owns the property, so you don't own the property, because the dirt is not yours. You're not purchasing a house. You're renting ground and putting a house on someone else's ground. And that's the legal position you're putting yourself in. So, what I would do if I were you is I'm going to continue to investigate it because it's kind of an interesting, different concept, and try to continue to poke holes in it. Having done 3,000 real estate deals in my life, including a couple of them with 50-year leases on commercial deals, I would not do this deal, because I don't think it's got a good upside resale on the back end, even if it's the best of situations, because it's such a weird deal. It's so unusual that it's going to be hard to get financing and hard to get buyers off the back end. And anytime you have a limited pool of buyers off the back end, you're going to get limited appreciation. And it's going to make you wish you had just gone ahead and done the other regular traditional deal.
Yeah, this sounds like it's better than rent to own, but it still has some risks involved.
Yeah.
Because you don't fully own it.
Well, it's approaching a condominium situation. I mean, with a condo, you don't technically own the dirt under your condo. You may not even own your condo might be sitting on someone else's condo. It could be a two-story.
My townhome, I don't own the dirt.
You don't own yours?
Because the townhome is one giant structure.
Yeah.
And so.
Oh, okay. Then that's the same situation.
So it's a similar situation.
Yeah, and so, but the difference is that that is a traditional deal. It's not a lease.
Exactly.
In that it's a condominium document, or in New York they will use a different document called a co-op document, but it still works very similar to a condominium document. But that you can get financing on.
Yeah.
Not that I want you to get permanent financing, but you want to have something that can get financed when you get ready to sell it, because that's going to limit your market. Otherwise, if cash buyers are your only buyer coming back in, you're not going to get much appreciation.
It still sounds like this is kind of a shortcut. I would just go ahead and save up a down payment, do traditional financing on a home in South Jersey.
I would.
Get 20% or 15% on a $400,000 house and do it that way.
But I also couldn't resist investigating it further, just because.
Oh, yeah. You love real estate.
I always like getting into weird deals and figuring out what's going on. Finding the holes. Rawl's with us in San Francisco. Hey, Rawl, what's up?
Hey, good afternoon. Well, good morning here from beautiful California, where the weather's always nice and the politics is always a poop storm here.
That's a great tagline.
How can we help today, sir?
Well, here we go. My wife and I discovered you guys back in November of last year, and we're on baby step 2. And we sat down, and I sat down, and why, and I want to retire in 5 years. I'm going to be 60 next month, and we've paid so far $40,000 in debt.
Good.
And we have the big kahuna, which is our parent loan plus, $200,000.
Oh.
That we're trying to figure out how to break that down. We've talked to the kids, 2 of them that we paid college, and we told them that we were going to help them out, but that this was part of their loan to pay for their college. So trying to figure out what percentage they're going to buy in and trying to see where they're at in their lives. I have a mortgage. I have we owe about $300,000, and the value of the house is about $760,000.
Before I run out of time, Raul, what's your question?
Yeah. So I'm thinking of, does it make sense to maybe pay off balance of the parent loan plus with my 401k since I'm 60, and then re-input that through my 401k and retirement accounts.
How much you got in the 401k?
$640,000.
What's your household income?
$150,000 a year.
If the kids aren't paying any of it, I probably would.
It's tough. Those are some high interest rate loans on the Parent Plus.
And you still got $400,000 left in your 401k when the smoke clears. You got to pay taxes on it, obviously. No penalty, though. Yeah, what a mess. I'm sorry. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. There was a pandemic, there was a quarantine, there was the shutting down of people's incomes and factories producing anything and everything, and then all of the resulting economic crap that comes from that, called inflation, probably heading into recession. The Fed decides to adjust interest rates up. Real estate market slows. Wild out there. More than ever, people need a sense of hope with their finances. And maybe you're feeling kind of crazed out there. Maybe you're feeling like, I don't have enough. I can't get this done. I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, we can show you how to get through these times and the good times as well. There's only one set of principles that work in both good times and bad times, and they're common sense, biblical principles of finance. Things like get out of debt, live on less than you make, save. Oh, well, that'd be easier said than done, Dave. Have you not seen the price of gas? Yes, I just about passed out in the gas station parking lot the other day, filled up the Raptor, and I could have bought a house cheaper. Oh, my God. Have you ever filled up a Raptor?
No, I can't. How many gallons does that thing have?
It's like more gallons than your car.
I could do the math on it.
It's just bizarre.
It's definitely 3 numbers involved. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad when you have to do like your card twice because the thing maxes and shuts off.
Oh,
and
that's
you
right.
ain't got a half a tank yet.
I think it's got 125 max. Ouch.
We're all feeling it, guys. And so Financial Peace University is how we show you how you should have hope. We're going to show you how to get out of debt, actually control your money during these hard times and during good times, and win. The courses are taught by me and Rachel Cruz and Dr. John Deloney and George Camel sitting here with me. Brand new videos all the way through the thing, and it is the best Financial Peace University we've ever done. Almost 10 million people have been through this class. If you want to start Financial Peace University for free, check out all this new content. Visit RamseySolutions.com/FPU. I know you can be scared. I know you can be overwhelmed, and I'm not making fun of you. I get it. That's very, very real. And so check it out. This is how you do it. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Elsa is with us in Delray Beach, Florida. Hey, Elsa, what's up?
Hey, Dave. Hey, George. I'm so excited to speak with you, and I'm excited in general.
Cool.
So the reason I'm calling is because I was recently catapulted into baby step 7, and I feel like I should know what to do, but I kind of feel a little paralyzed with the economy. So I have about $100,000 that I think I'll do something with, and I just kind of want to I suppose, and just hear it out loud what I should be doing with this money.
Okay, how did you get catapulted?
So I was married, and now I'm not, and it's for good reasons. It was long overdue, and we owed a little bit on the primary residence, which I ended up keeping, and owed a little on a car, and we sold a home in our old area that we lived in, and the net of everything just caused everything to get paid off, and then I netted $100,000 when everything was said and done.
Wow. Okay. How old are you?
44.
Say again?
44.
44. What do you do for a living?
I'm in advertising.
What do you make?
$125.
Good for you. Well done.
Awesome.
Okay. So you're 44, newly single, 100% debt free. You make 100 and some odd thousand bucks, and house is paid for and everything, and you got $100,000 in your pocket.
Yes.
Wow.
Good problem to have.
Sounds like the future's bright to me.
Where do I go? Do I put it in the market, in kind of a
Are you happy with the house?
Fund kind of thing? I am, and I have a son who's 11, so I want to stay here for now because his schools, and I want to keep the consistency there. So, yeah, I am happy with the house.
Great. You got anything saved for college yet? You started that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, college stuff is being saved for, putting 15% in retirement. I have some old IRAs, which I actually have with an investment pro that I got through, the ELPs. And, he actually ironically just called me and told me he was switching brokerage houses and said, he knew that this home was actually pending sale for a long time, that it was going to be sold. So I told him, I was like, your timing's perfect. And he's like, all right, cool. It's like, let's, set you up. We'll get your money market account and we can do this. And then I'm just nervous because just what Dave just said, we're going into a recession and we could be going into worse. And,
when do you think you'll use the money, the $100,000?
I don't. That's the thing. I don't have any. And I also, and the other.
So you feel like you got at least 5 years that you won't need it?
Probably. And I also have once my budget is said and done, I should be netting about $3,000 to $4,000 a month that I can put away as well.
But my point is, if you leave it alone 5 years, if you look back at the history of the market, 96% of the 5-year periods in the market's history have made money.
Right.
And so that means the market's on sale right now because it's down. Now, you've been through a lot personally. You're a newly single mom with an 11-year-old. This mess you've just been through, the heart-wrenching anger, the heartbreak, the emotions, and now you're the other side of it, and there's this strange calm after the storm, which is also a little bit unsettling. All of that enters into the equation. So if you put this $100,000 in there, because I'm comfortable with you doing that, and it goes down further, if you go into freak out mode because of your because of all the crap you've been through in the last 36 months, then, and you pull it out low, then that was a bad strategy. Okay. So you've got to ask yourself, are you emotionally, prepared to ride this market down a little further if it goes down? If you are, then, and you're going to leave it alone 5 years, I'm putting the money in the market with your SmartVestor Pro.
Right.
If you're not, that's okay to say out loud. You know what? I'm at a vulnerable point right now because I've been through hell. Mm-hmm. And based on that, I don't really want to ride anything.
I'm done with rides.
Right.
I'm going to put it in a money market, and I don't even care if it makes money. Losing money scares me a lot more than making money or than not making money.
Agreed.
Elsa, how much do you have in savings outside of the $100,000?
That's everything.
Okay. Well, I want you to have a fully funded emergency fund. So let's park some of that because, like you just mentioned, with the recession, if something happens to your job, you're going to have 3 to 6 months of expenses. I'd probably lean towards 6 months since you're, single income, and that'll make you feel real good about then putting the rest in the market because you've got 6 months of expenses sitting there ready to cover you, and you don't have a mortgage payment. So that helps a whole lot.
Yeah, that's the direction I would go for sure. And if you want to park it in there, you're okay from a financial analysis exclusively, an investment analysis. I would be comfortable putting the money in there to leave alone because I'm comfortable with the market being down, knowing it's going to come up. I'm very comfortable with that. But if you're in a position, you need to remember, folks, when you're making these decisions, it's not just analyzing the investment. It's analyzing where you are because personal finance is personal. If you just went through a divorce, a death of a loved one, you went through a very emotional, stressful, anxiety-ridden career change, something like that, you might not be at your strongest point in your life. You might be needing some emotional time off from being brave right now. And that's okay.
It's okay to move slow.
It's better to be wise enough to recognize that, to be self-aware and not put yourself out there. A lot of times when people lose money, it has nothing to do with the investment being bad. It's their timing sucks because of their personal vulnerabilities. This is The Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today here in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Malia is with us. Hi, Malia. How are you?
Hello. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. Welcome. Good to have you. How much debt have you paid off?
A little over $89,000.
Good. Where are you from?
I am from Concord, North Carolina.
Awesome. Good to have you. And how long did it take you to pay off $89,000?
It took me about 6 years and 3 months, a little over 6 years.
Good for you. Very good. And your range of income during that time?
Started at $75,000 and I'm at $112,000.
Good for you. What do you do for a living?
Thank you. I'm in human resources. I work for an airport.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
Good. What kind of debt was the $89,000?
Oh, wow. It was all loan debt. So car loans, student loans was the majority. I had a little bit of credit card debt, a tractor loan. So loans, different types of loans.
Okay. Wow. Look at you. A tractor loan.
What was that for?
So it was a John Deere.
You don't strike me as the John Deere type. I missed something here.
Well, at the time, I was married, so it was my husband's tractor. But it was a John Deere.
Okay. All right. So he left, but you got the tractor.
No, he left and he has the tractor.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was part of the loan, though, before he left. I got you. Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm catching on. Oh, well, it all worked out. Okay, good. So what started this journey for you for getting out of debt and meeting up with this Ramsey stuff?
Yeah, so I came across you. I'm not sure how, but somehow I came across your show, started watching you, was very energized and just enthusiastic about you giving advice over different financial things, and started watching those debt-free screams, and that was really my motivator. So I printed out something. I printed out the debt-free scream advertisement from your website, like back in 2016, and I put it on my vision board. And I said to myself, I'm going to go to his show, and I'm gonna do a debt-free scream. So I'm here. It's surreal, but it's super exciting.
You made it 6 years later. Yeah.
I made it.
What enabled you to stick with us for 6 years through a divorce and a John Deere-ectomy and everything?
A John Deere-ectomy, I love it. So it was really just wanting to live like no one else. That wasn't something that I grew up with or was used to. My parents was always good about paying debt and seeing debt as a good thing, but they would pay it off. But I did not want to have debt. I did not want to feel chained to paying someone. And so just really just focused on what would that look like and how would that feel. And it feels absolutely great.
Yeah.
It feels absolutely great.
Yeah, you're 100% free now. Other than your house or including your house?
No house, no mortgage.
Okay. All right.
So you're 100% free of debt.
Way to go. Wow. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Well, what do you tell people the key to sticking with it is?
So I would say, I started out married, and so for those that are married or who are thinking about being married, that are dating seriously, I would say that communication and just commitment and agreement that this is something that is important to the both of you. Just motivation for knowing that on the other side, you don't have to think about paying someone or paying people or being, I call it a chain, just feeling chained to making payments every time you get a paycheck. And just prayer. So I'm a believer, and the big thing for me was just sticking with my tithe and offering. Sometimes I wanted to use that tithe and offering for something else, but I thought it was about priority and order for me. And so those things were just very important.
Yeah. You had spiritual discipline, financial discipline. I mean, you're a whole new person.
Yes. I'm super excited about that.
Outside of your immediate family, who was your biggest cheerleaders?
So I've been thinking about that. I don't know if I had a cheerleader. I think I was my biggest cheerleader. I love my family. I love my friends, and they would always, joke with me about not wanting to spend money. But I was my biggest cheerleader. It was just something that I knew that I wanted to do, and that was super important to me. So I was my biggest cheerleader.
Now you make six figures and you don't have any payments.
Exactly.
Take that, friends.
Love it.
Now you're going to be cheerleading your friends.
That's
they go,
right.
How'd you do that?
Mic drop. Here we go.
Yes,
Tell me more.
I love it. All right. And you brought the kiddos with you, or kiddo with you. What's her name and age?
Marley. She is 10 years old. She's a little shy right now. But yes, I brought her with me. And it was super important because I wanted to, and I want to create a legacy of her understanding that is possible, and that you do not have to live with debt. It's not something that has to be part of your legacy. So I wanted her to be here for that experience. Just to understand that it can happen.
And she'll remember how uncomfortable the whole process was.
That's right.
She will.
From paying off the debt to being on the debt-free stage.
Exactly.
That's
it.
A little bit of discomfort.
That's it.
For long-term gain.
But it leaves a mark, and you remember. That time my mother did this weird thing and drove all the way over to Nashville to do a debt-free scream on the radio because she'd worked for 6 years to get her debts paid off. It does lock in. It locks in more than you realize it. So
hopefully
cross it off the vision board. You did it.
I know.
I love
excited.
it.
You're impressive.
I love it. Very well done. All right, Malia and Marley from Concord, North Carolina. We've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's the next chapter in your story. That #1 best-selling book will show you how to go on and be a Baby Steps millionaire, and that's where you're going now.
Yes.
And then the next thing we'll give you is a Financial Peace University membership for a year. If you've not been through it, go through it. It's all the brand new videos with George and Rachel and Deloney and me. And, of course, a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away to someone, maybe someone who's kind of giving you a little eye roll earlier, and you can go, oh, well, here's how I paid off $89,000.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I have a few people in mind.
Good stuff. All right, count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
So fun.
And we got a smile out of Marley.
Yes,
so
we did. Yes, we did. That's how it's done right there. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Here's the thing. When you go through that length of time, 6 years and 3 months, and you go through a divorce during that time, and anytime you go through 6 years, you're going to go through, there's going to be some garbage somewhere in that 6 years to be shoveled. You seldom go through, any of us seldom go through 6 years of our life with only good stuff, you know. And so when you got a slog that's that long, it requires a different level of persistence.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of driving the car and you're going, this is going to be a lot longer journey than we once thought. So
are we there yet?
The tank's got to look different. And there's going to be some pit stops along the way. And if you know that going in, it changes everything. But, man, to see someone go 6 years and 3 months, persevere, pay $89,000, it's almost as impressive as someone who's super intense and does it in 8 months.
When you interview people that we define in our culture as successful, put that in air quotes. I talked to this successful man, this successful woman. They were successful. You find almost all of them have one of two or three of five or whatever traits, character traits. One is perseverance. Perseverance. They just won't quit. Another one's integrity. They're fanatical levels of integrity. You find these things popping up most often in people that you and I and others define as so-and-so is successful. Well, Malia, she's successful.
That's right.
That's how that works. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Nicholas is with us in Kansas City. Hi, Nicholas. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Ramsey. I'm good. How you doing?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
I actually was calling in. I was just hoping to get some advice on maybe a potential job switch. And so right now I'm in the mortgage business, and it's a little hard. And I think this last year my eyes were a little bigger than my stomach. So I bought a car and a house. But other than that, that's the only debt I have. I have, the IRA set up, 401k. I got some investments going on, but I feel like I'm kind of getting in over my head if I have because I'm commissioned fully. I have I don't really have many deals coming in right now because it's just, the rates are super high. It's hard to get some of these locked in. So I have a salary job, or potentially a salary job set up. I'm just wondering if I should maybe look into sticking it out here, or if I should think about maybe switching into something that's more stable.
Well, what's the salary job pay, and what is it?
So it's an asset-based lending, and so the salary would be around $125 to $150.
So, like commercial deals?
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, commercial lending, and as far as like corporate loans go.
Okay. All right.
Do you want to do that?
I graduated in 2019, and I graduated with a finance and banking degree, and that's how I got into mortgages. But that's what my dad does. So I've been thinking about getting into that, just because it would be commission eventually, but the salary just seems more stable, and I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of in over my head right now with the mortgage and the car note, and
part of this is a career question, but part of it is we got to get you out of debt. And so, can you sell the car? Is it worth more than you paid for it still?
I think it's about right around the same. And
how much do you owe on it?
So I owe around $18,000.
Okay.
And the payment's right around $400.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pay this thing off and keep it, but it's not. You keep saying you're in over your head. I don't know. Is the $400 a month tanking you? You have no margin left at the end of the month. You're also investing too, and so that's another piece of the puzzle.
Right. So I don't want to pull out anything from my investments, and obviously from like the IRA and the retirement stuff. But the mortgage is really kind of what's hitting me hard.
Yeah. So basically, without refis in the pipeline, the mortgage business is really struggling because nobody's refiing, because everybody's got a 3% mortgage. They're not going to refi to a 5 or a 6. And so the only mortgages coming through are purchase money mortgages, meaning people buying houses right now. So the volume that you've got as an originator is way down, so your income's way down. And that's likely to be that way for a little while. It's not going to fix in the next 3 months. It's going to be, it's going to be a long, hot summer. In your world. The question, though, is, okay, I don't have much income coming in. I really need to get a job where I can make some money. And then this other thing pops up. So I think I do agree that if you want to leave the mortgage business because you're not making any money and go make some money and go get a job, make some money, I think I agree with that idea. I'm not sure which job you would take, though. I think I want you more excited. I want you to run to something as much as from something. And right now it feels like in this conversation you're just running from something.
Right. I think that's kind of my biggest struggle is depending, the salary sounds good because that's coming in each month. But then,
but do I really want to be doing this 10 years from now? And it kind of sounds like no.
Right.
It sounds like I'm taking this because I need some money because I'm not making any right now.
Well, and another big thing that I want to kind of do is while I'm younger, I want to be able to have my money work for me and kind of grow my money. But if I'm just getting a paycheck each month and putting it towards my mortgage and my car, I don't really have, I can't contribute. Well, I'll contribute to the 401k, but I can't max the IRA. I can't really have, any more investments. And those will come back. I understand that. But
so what I'm telling you is quit analyzing your career based on one piece of data and that one piece of data is income. It is one of the things you need to look at, but you also need to look at what the long-term play is. Am I going to be doing this 20 years? Is there a progression here? Can I go up? Can I move up the ladder in this process? Can I make more and more and more? Or is this I'm taking a dead-end job because I need a salary? Shut up. Don't do that. There's other options out there.
With what I'm doing now, there's a potential to maybe move up and own a branch, but then also the the asset-based lending, that's got potential to then, get salary also, and then start doing my own deals to where the commission will then roll in.
Yeah.
And that's what my dad does. So,
I don't care what your dad does. All I want to know is what you want to do.
How old are you, Nicholas?
I'm 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't take a job because you're not making any money so that you can make a salary. Take a job that you think is going to be thrilling 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and your income will have gone up. And along the way, you solved the salary issue too.
They tend to go hand in hand. The thing you're real excited about,
they
you
should
tend to be great at, and you tend to get paid well to do it.
They should. So I think you ought to look at 2 or 3 other things while you're doing this and see if the decision-making paradigm that you're using brings you back to this after you've been on this. In other words, before you marry this girl, go on a date with some others. And it'll lead you right back to her if she's your true love. And if it doesn't, then you go, yeah, she was just, no. So, yeah, I'm going to stretch that metaphor way too far there, but I'm going to leave it alone. But don't only take a job because of income, and don't only take a job because of passion and purpose and ignore income.
Yeah. Well,
either.
Nick,
That's dumb, too.
I'm going to send you 2 books. One is From Paycheck to Purpose, our friend Ken Coleman's book. That's going to help you find that thing that you can do and get paid well to do it. And I'm going to send you a copy of The Total Money Makeover. So hang on, Austin will pick up. And I hope that book shows you that, man, if we stop investing for a little while to pay off this debt, we're going to really feel the progress. We're not going to feel like we're beyond our skis here. And part of that, like Dave, he's saying, I want to invest more, but I can't because I don't have the money because I'm paying a car payment. And that's what debt does. It steals from your future. And so I want you to get out of debt. And if that means selling the car because you're so excited about investing and you drive a hoopty, I'm okay with that. But you got to make a choice here. We can't be going in 3 directions and then wonder why we're not making progress.
Yeah. And, what he's experiencing, George, is the old Buffett saying, you can tell who was skinny dipping when the tide goes out. So all these things he was doing was okay as long as he was making money. But as soon as the mortgage business dried up, then all of a sudden these stupid things look pretty stupid.
You got exposed.
Yep. It shows when you're stupid is stress tested, it comes out looking, stupid. I mean, that's how that works. And that's happened to me. It's happened to you. It's happened to everybody out there. And so, if you're making really good money, it could cover, as they say, a multitude of sins, a multitude of stupidity. But as soon as your income dries up a little bit or tightens up a little bit, all of a sudden you go, well, that wasn't too smart.
Well, you've told everyone you've tried to out-earn your stupidity.
Yeah, I did. I tried it. It didn't work because apparently my income potential is not as high as my stupid potential. So,
which is infinite? Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently. Careful, George.
Sorry. Hey, you're a sharp guy. We all know that.
Careful, George.
We're poking fun at old Dave, not new Dave. It's different.
I'm not sure what to do with that exactly.
But new Dave is older, so it's very confusing.
Yeah, there's an oxymoron in here somewhere.
We'll leave it alone.
I love it. George Camel, Ramsey personality. Our thanks to Kelly and Andrew and Zach and Ben and Austin in the booth. I am Dave Ramsey, your host, and we will be back. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions. The phone number, 888-825-5225. Megan starts off this hour in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm all right. Thanks so much for taking my call, Dave and George. How are you guys today?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, my husband passed away 9 weeks ago.
Oh, my.
Unexpectedly. Yes, and
What happened?
He had a heart attack in the middle of the night.
Oh, my Lord. How old was he?
I'm 31. He's 50, or was 50, I guess.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, so we have two very small children, 2 years old and 9 months old. Mm-hmm. And I'm just terrified. I listen to you all the time. I'm a huge fan, and I just wanted to know what advice you have for me. What mistakes do you see people make in this situation, and what do I need to do? I'm at a loss.
Mm-hmm.
What decisions are you needing to make right now?
Well, the life insurance, which thankfully we had, just came in yesterday. So need to decide what to do with that, and
How much was
need
that?
to decide what to do. That's $800.
$800. Okay. And do you have a house?
Yes, I have a house that I can't stand right now, as you can imagine.
Mm.
So.
And what is it worth?
It's worth about $700. We owe about $400 on it.
Okay. All right. So let me kind of give you a general principle that we all use here, and then we can back in out of that and into that for, you and I and George can to figure out what some of your best ideas are. Okay. When you go through something like this, particularly something that is, when you go through losing someone, particularly suddenly and tragically, unexpectedly, your brain, no one's brain, functions at full capacity in the middle of heavy grief. Okay? And so you got this fog. I mean, Sharon and I have been married 40 years. If something happened to Sharon, my brain wouldn't work good for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
so, and it doesn't mean I'm dumb. It doesn't mean I have a bad brain. It just means that in the middle of this kind of trauma is the worst possible time to make major decisions if you can avoid making major decisions. Is that logical?
Yes.
So, for instance, I wouldn't go on some kind of big campaign to become a professional investor with $800,000 right now. You're 31 years old with two little babies, and and you just had this horrible thing happen. And so I always tell people, if you can, let's just put that in a CD and park it for 6 months and cry.
Okay.
I'm not making any decisions for 6 months. I'm just going to cry and let the fog of grief go by, because grief comes in waves. I mean, you'll be going along, everything's fine, and all of a sudden it just hits you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some silly smell or noise or something that, triggers your brain, triggers a memory, and it just hits you and you don't even see it coming. And that you don't want to make a $800,000 investment decision in the middle of that. So if you can, let's do nothing.
Okay.
That's first thing. Now, doing nothing is not possible because you got to eat, keep the lights on. You've got to figure out, do you have an income? Do you work?
I've taken leave from work since this has happened.
Okay. What were you doing?
No. I was a personal assistant.
Okay. And what were you making?
65.
Okay.
He was the breadwinner. The main breadwinner.
Okay. All right. And if you make decisions, let's try to make decisions that can be undone. Okay. Let me give you an example. Okay. It might be okay to sell the house if you want out, if you just can't stand the place right now. I take it he passed away at home?
Yeah, in our bed.
Yeah. And so just walking around that house is icky, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying. I can't stand this house. Yes, that's what you said, yeah. So it's okay to move. However, moving is emotionally traumatic too. with 2 babies, dadgum right. Everything you do is emotionally traumatic. But I don't think I would go buy a $700,000 house today. So if I did anything, I would just sell and go find something to rent and a buying spot for 6 months or a year. I'm going to sit here for a year, and then later I'm going to make a decision on where I want to live.
Okay.
But I don't think you're in. I would not be in the state of mind to make a decision on where I want to live for the next 5 years.
Right.
So if you want to dump the house, that's something that the only downside of that is you can't get that house back.
Right.
But you can get another house later. If you just go, okay, the chances of me wanting to live here 5 years from now is almost zero, and the chances of me wanting to live here 5 days from now is zero. So I'm done with this thing. We're tapping out on it. So now I don't have 800. Now I got $1.2 million to sit in a CD while I just rent and go back to work and pay my bills, or pull enough off the $1.2 million to quit your job and start a new job a year from now, and just set aside a salary, set aside $100,000 to live on for a year. Okay. But what you don't want to get into then is grief spending, which is medicating the pain with buying stuff. So you set yourself on like you say, okay, here's an amount of money I'm not going to touch. Like if we did that, if we sold the house and you said you got $400,000 equity, right?
Yes.
Okay. Plus 800 is $1.2 million. Following me?
Yes, sir.
You rent. You don't have any other debt, right?
No, sir.
Okay. And you just put yourself in park mode so you can heal. Give yourself some margin to heal. And then a year from today, we decide what you decide what your career is. A year from today, based on your new career, you decide what house you want to buy.
Okay.
And you say, out of that $1.2 million, I'm going to set aside $100,000 over here, and that's going to be my salary, $8,000 a month for 1 year, and I have no payments except a rent payment. That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
And you don't touch the other $1.1 million for anything. Don't tell me you found something in the middle of your grief that you have to do, because there's no such thing.
Okay.
Follow me? Because I've seen people burn through this, and I've seen them make dumb decisions, trying to be stiff upper lip, trying to be strong, in a time when you shouldn't even be trying to be strong. You should just cry.
Move slow and just grieve.
Yeah.
So sorry, Megan.
Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, sit down with one of our SmartVestor pros. They'll help you execute that on getting rid of the house as an ELP, a real estate person, and get a SmartVestor pro for helping you with the investing as well, if that's the plan you decide to execute on. That sounds okay to me. All right, put your phone down. Over the years, we've substituted having deep and meaningful conversations for binge watching Netflix or scrolling through social media and seeing how many Facebook friends you have, which, by the way, if you didn't know, those aren't real friends. Sometimes you can be sitting right next to someone but feel 1,000 miles apart. You deserve better relationships. That's why mental health expert Dr. John Deloney created Questions for Humans. These are conversation starters that will help you put your phone down and actually connect and have a conversation with the people you care about. These cards are flying off the shelves. You guys keep asking for more topics, and we took the hint. We have new conversation cards, brand new. There's a girls' night out, a guy's night, a dating, a parents and teens, and a workplace edition. Spend time laughing together, learning something unexpected, and build deeper, stronger relationships. Pick up one or two of our new Questions for Humans conversation starter cards and start having fun. Shop at RamseySolutions.com. Blinds.com. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Free samples, free shipping, and the new promos they run all the time will save you even more. Use the promo code Ramsey, and you'll get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Rick in Delaware. He says, I'm 27 years old, and for the most part, I follow your financial advice. I only pay for things with cash or debit. However, I have over $100,000 of open credit. When stocks crashed earlier this year, I used 2 of my credit cards to borrow $20,000 at 0% interest and bought S&P index ETFs. I thought, wow, stocks crashed, I'll buy now, pocket $3,000 to $5,000 when the market bounces back, and pay off the balance. Now the ETF values are even lower. The total I had in the stock market was $30,000, and now I only have $21,000. The 0% APR on the cards will end in October of next year. Should I pay off my credit cards now and take a loss of $9,000, or should I ride the wave until the loan is over since all the money is in indexes? I have only $2,000 in cash, I make $35,000 a year, and I have about $1,500 in monthly expenses. Oof. A lot of bad decisions were made here.
That's why you get the big bucks, George.
This Rick sounds like a 27-year-old making $35,000 who thought he was going to get rich quick by using credit cards to invest. Yeah, there's yikes written all over this, but we'll answer his question.
Proverbs says, he who hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. Every time you set yourself up to get rich quick, you're going to get your head taken off. There is no shortcut to any place that's worth going. And so this is the lesson of this horrible tale for this young man and for any of you listening to this young man's horrible tale. So basically, you're going to have some pain. You're just going to have to choose your pain, okay? You're going to have the pain of waiting and risking even more. If you ride until October, it could be down further, and you could be further in the hole. Or it could come up, and you might not have to write a check for $9,000. $9,000 is a lot of money when you make $35,000. However, you can make $1,500 a month delivering pizza or Uber Eats. And your little butt's about to go to work to pay for your stupidity, my son. Because I've done the same thing, and that's the only way I got out of it. It's worked my way through it. So when I've done something stupid, Rick, and I have done a lot of stupid things. I have a PhD in DUMB, buddy. So when I do something stupid and it causes me to lose money, I call that stupid tax. And you, young man, are getting ready to write a check for stupid tax. The only question is how big the check is. You can name your poison right now. It's $9,000 and call it. Call it a day. I learned my lesson. Not playing this game anymore. Over.
I found usually if it starts with easy, it ends with hard. And he was trying to make an easy $3,000, and now he owes a hard $9,000 because he wanted to take a shortcut and try to game the system.
And every night when you're delivering pizza, just go, I hate the idea of borrowing money on credit cards to buy ETFs. I hate the idea of borrowing money on credit cards to buy ETFs. I hate the idea of trying to beat the market with borrowed money. I hate the idea. And just by the time you finish delivering all those pizzas, you will really hate the idea.
That card's going to get cut up.
Yeah. And you'll be done with this forever.
What are we doing giving 27-year-olds making $35K $100,000 of open credit?
We didn't, but some idiot bank did. So Rick, you really have 2 options. I mean, one is limit your losses to $9,000 or take a chance. You're going to likely take some medicine. Somewhat less than $9,000, somewhat more than $9,000. What is the market going to do between now and October? I do not know. I do not know.
His track record of timing the market is not great.
I think the market is going to come back up, but I don't know if it's going to make it by October. I think there's enough negative pushes on the market that I don't know if it recovers 100% of your money by October. I wouldn't make that bet. I'm not saying I don't know. I just don't know. So if I'm in your shoes and I don't know, what I don't need is more pain. I'm probably going to. I would rather have a known devil than a future unknown devil.
Because that 9,000 could turn into 12,000 by October.
It could. It could turn into 15 before it turns into nothing. I mean, it could turn into nothing. That's everything's a possibility here on the table. But so I think you're paying $9,000 in tuition to the school of life, and you're getting ready to write a check and graduate with honors.
Summa cum laude.
Yep.
Look at that.
No, it's thank you, Lottie.
Thank you, Lottie.
Yeah, that's it. So, geez, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not making fun of you because I'm readily admitting I've done dumber things when I was exactly your age. Crap, I went bankrupt when I was 28. So, with millions of dollars in real estate debt. So, you know, your little $9,000 stupid ain't even close to mine. So, you know, I'm not picking on you. I'm not shaming you. But I do want you to realize and say out loud, one of the benefits of me going bankrupt is I figured out it doesn't work. What doesn't work, and I don't do it again. I've done a lot of stupid things. Very seldom, George, have I done the same stupid thing twice.
You learned a lesson.
I generally find a new one to do. But,
you touched a hot stove and went, not again.
But yeah, this is...
So the goal is to save up the $9,000 by October so you can pay it off.
No, just pay it off as quickly as you can. Put it on a credit card. Pay it off now. It's on a credit card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on there. It's on there. Just cash out your stocks today. You got $9,000 left, and ETF today. You got $9,000 in credit card debt, and because you were stupid, and you go deliver pizzas and pay off your stupid, and work like a maniac. And if you can deliver pizzas 80 hours a week and be done in 3 months or 2 months, that'd be great. But it's going to take you a little while. But you know, clean up your mess, and all the while going, I learned my lesson. 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 I was about that age when I bought gold.
Oh.
I lost $5,000 on that gold deal. I was about it and I had it all figured out. I was so smart for a stupid guy, and so it's unbelievable.
What is the mentality behind this? Is it this? Well, I'm gonna outsmart the system. I figured it out.
Yeah, there's an. Let me tell you,
arrogance.
Every time you fall for get rich quick, it's usually not every time. It's almost always got a level of arrogance to it. Like I understand that there's risk, but I am smarter than all these people who perceive there to be too much risk because I've got this figured out. And there's always that element of arrogance to your diving into Bitcoin, you're diving into Beanie Babies. Jeez,
well, thank you, Rick.
Stuff people put money into.
He's a cautionary tale, so he helped us out today.
Yeah.
Hopefully stopping another 27-year-old.
Rick is your anti-mentor for the day. Everybody needs an anti-mentor. Bless your heart, Rick. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you're going through this. But, hey, good news is only $9,000. Good news, you're 27. You got the rest of your life to never do this stupid butt stuff again. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Richard is with us in Bethesda, Maryland. Hi, Richard. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and George. How are you?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, just paid off $45,000 of my debt, totally debt-free.
Woohoo! How long did it take you to do that, brother?
Right around 18 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that year and a half?
So I was making around $42,000 plus another $26,000 with allowances from the military.
Mm-hmm.
So about $68,000 in total.
So through that whole time, that was your income. Okay, cool. So thanks for your service.
Yes.
Very cool. What kind of debt was the $45,000?
So I had around $20,000 in credit cards and about $25,000 in a car loan.
All right. So you pay off the car or sell it?
I paid it off.
Wow.
Man, you've been busting it.
I have.
Like beans and rice, rice and beans.
It's pretty much been that way.
Yeah, 18 months, you've been no fun.
Pretty much. But it's worth it in the end.
Yeah, now you're the definition of fun. You're dead free, man. I love it.
Absolutely.
How's it feel to have no payments?
Big burden, off my shoulders.
So 18 months ago, you were living La Vida Loca, and then you decided to, batten up the hatches here. What happened 18 months ago?
Pretty much, the payments, after I get my paycheck, I make the payments, and I only have a few hundred left over to last me in the next couple weeks. And I had a good friend who gave me the Total Money Makeover, and I finally started reading it, implemented it, wanted to, change a lifestyle.
How long did it lay around after he gave it to you before you read it?
About a week.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's
Okay.
impressive.
You said I finally got around to reading it. I didn't know. I thought maybe it was 2 years.
Well, I want to know, because a lot of people say, I try to give my friend the Total Money Makeover, and they laugh you out of the room. What was it? Did you complain to him, and he was going, hey, if you're sick and tired, here's the book for you? And he did it in a winsome way?
Well, for a long time, he would always talk about it to other people, and I would hear him, but I wouldn't listen to him. And then that's when I started looking at my own situation and realized I was unhappy with it. So I finally started listening to him, and that's when he handed me the book, and it changed my life.
Man, I love it. I like this guy. What's his first name?
Dave.
Way to go, Dave. Cool. Dave, here's Dave. Yeah,
There we go.
That's great. I like it.
That's awesome. So what
Good
was the biggest
stuff, man.
sacrifice you made? It sounds like there was a lot. What was the biggest one where you went, man, this one hurts?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
What was the biggest sacrifice you made in those 18 months?
I mean, pretty much no fun. Pretty much work, home, only getting necessities that I needed. Cutting out the fun, excessive spending, no vacations.
And your friends went, dude, you're no fun anymore. What happened? You went, I'm trying to get out of debt, dude.
Well, he's also one of the big reasons why I was able to pay it off so quick. He allowed me to live with him rent-free, and I offered to pay rent. But he says, no, pay off your debt.
How generous.
This guy's a real friend.
He is.
That's pretty amazing. Very cool.
I wouldn't be here without him.
That's neat, man. Yeah, if you're going to work hard and do that, I'll let you do this for free. Yeah, I want to be part of your success story. I like friends like that.
That's awesome.
Well done, sir. Very, very, very well done. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So how's it feel to have no payments after all this work?
It feels amazing. It's definitely the new lifestyle I want to keep. I don't have a house, so, been, saving up to eventually put a down payment down in the next, few years or so. But definitely not going back to credit cards or
But what
debt.
about the cash back, Richard? What about the rewards and the points? You're not going to miss that?
Absolutely not. It's not worth it.
Wow. I guess you can give yourself cash back because you have money now.
Absolutely.
That's a good plan. I love it. You're impressive, man. Thank you so much for your service, and what a great job getting rid of this debt.
So what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? Did I already ask you that?
No, sir.
Okay.
You just have to have the mindset to want to do it. It's not, you either have to, jump in the pool or get out. All in or not. So
no toe dipping.
You can't just, right. You can't just kind of want to do it and implement just a little bit of it, all
Can't
in
do
or
it
nothing.
ish. You got to be all in.
Man, I'm proud of you, Richard. Proud of you. How old are you, sir?
29, sir.
Very good. Excellent. You got the rest of your life to live with no payments. You're going to make so much money. You're going to do so well. Well done. You really, really, really conquered a big issue here. Very, very well done. We got a copy of the Baby Steps Millionaires book for you, #1 bestseller, How Ordinary People Built Extraordinary Wealth, and how Richard will, too. It's not exactly what it says on the cover, but pretty close. And, hey, also a copy of Total Money Makeover. You can give that to a friend like your friend Dave did for you, giving you that. And I'm going to give you a 1-year membership to Financial Peace University and $Every Premium in the Ramsey Plus membership, and get you started on the whole thing and let you go through the class if you've not been through it. If you have been through it, give it away to somebody. And it's all new videos, including George and Dr. Deloney and Rachel Cruz and me doing all the lessons. And so it's all there, all our gift to you to say we're proud of you. We congratulate you. We salute you. Very, very well done. Richard in Bethesda, Maryland, $45,000 paid off in 18 months, making $68,000 a year. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt free.
Yeah! This is how it's done. Very cool. Jim is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hi, Jim. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hey, George. How are you guys?
Great. How can we help?
So I've gone through the class, myself and my wife, and we did this probably about 5-6 years ago. I know what we're supposed to do. I know the steps. I know everything that's supposed to be done, but for whatever reason, just can't get it done. We don't start. We don't initiate. We'll save $1,000. We'll spend it. How do you get to that gazelle intensity?
Well, do you guys want it badly enough? Because it sounds like you want to have fun more than you want to be out of debt.
And in all honesty, I think that's probably where we're at. We both have sit down and said we're sick and tired, but then as soon as the opportunity comes up to, well, let's go do this, let's go do that, we end up doing it.
You need a bigger why. Your why is not big enough. Your why for doing this whole thing is we have mild discomfort. So we should get rid of our mild discomfort. That's your only reason for screwing with this, and that's not big enough to push you through. You can have something that sets your hair on fire, man. You got kids?
We do. We have 4 kids, 5 grandkids. Our debt scenario, if you took a hurricane, earthquake, and a tornado, and they all had a baby, that'd be our financial situation. We've robbed from Peter, paid Paul.
How much debt do you guys have?
Including the house, we're well over probably $300,000-$400,000.
How much is the house? Debt.
House right now is at $300,000.
So you got about $100,000 of consumer debt?
Probably, yes.
Probably.
Actually, I'm sorry. Our debt in the house is $230,000.
Okay. What's your household income?
$162,000.
Okay. All right. Well, you're right, Jim. I mean, y'all are just lazy. I mean, you're just you know what to do, and you're just too lazy to go do it. And so but the reason any of us are lazy is one of two things. One is we're just comfortable sitting in our own poop, or two, we don't believe it can be done, and we're hopeless. We've lost our hope. And the second one is more of a heartbreak. The first one's more of a you need your butt kicked. And so we're the people to help you with either one. We can love you and through your heartbreak, or we can kick your butt, or because we love you and we want you to go win. So I'm gonna put you into Financial Peace University, and Jim, you need to put a picture of these little kids on your refrigerator and go, they deserve a better grandpa than that. And he's about to clean his crap up. It's about time. Act like a grown man and stuff. You can do this. Don't call here if you don't want that. We love you, Jim. You can do it, brother. Hang on, we'll help you. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Acts 24:16. In view of this, I also do my best to maintain always a blameless conscience, both before God and before men. Benjamin Franklin said, the best tranquilizer is a clear conscience. Amen. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Allison is in Cincinnati. Hi, Allison. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, thank you guys for taking my call today. I have a business question for you.
Cool.
But before I dive into that, I'll give you a breakdown of our financial situations to give you a basis to answer. So my husband and I both work. We're on track to make about $150,000 this year. Our only debt is our mortgage. We owe $110,000, and it's worth about $800,000. So my husband's a contractor. He opened a business about 6 years ago. And while he loves what he does and he's talented, it's very the 24/7 job. We're constantly answering calls and, people wanting work done and that kind of thing. So we've been tossing around the idea of purchasing a flip house. But with that, there's pros and cons too. Some of the things that we've considered pros is that, we're going to have limited customer contact, potential for a big profit. My husband can do most of the work, so the cost would be low. And then I've heard you say that house prices are going to continue to go up. So if we were able to find a good deal, I think now would be the time. But the cons to that is, it would take a lot of our cash flow up front. And then the unstable market, the increase of interest rates, and then the waiting game to get our money back. So I'm calling to find out, when do you think would be a good time for us to purchase that and do that type of, transitioning from our current business to that type of work, or if you think we should wait, given our situation.
How much of the 150 was your husband's income?
He makes about 100, and I make about 50.
Okay. And
yeah.
Do you have cash to do the flip with?
Yes. So our goal would be to purchase it in cash.
How much cash do you have?
Property. We have about 60 to 70,000. And then, of course, between the time that we purchase, he has work already lined up. So it would be several months before we could actually get to it. So we have the potential to make another 30 to 40,000 before we would even start.
And that includes not touching your emergency fund.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. I would do both.
Okay.
I wouldn't switch until you've got enough flips going and your flip business is proven to walk away from the contracting business. And instead, what I would do is, I think you're managing, I think you can change your business conversation with your clients. When I first started at this, I allowed people to call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because they were having collectors call them, and I was coaching people, and they were in trouble, and they were behind on their house, and they could call me at night if they got a collector call or whatever, and I was available anytime. Now I'm never available.
Right.
And it doesn't mean I don't care, and it doesn't mean I'm not serving our customers. And so I think you can just say, listen, we work between these hours on these houses, and anything we do outside of those hours is an exception rather than a rule. If you've got a customer coming in from out of town and you're building a house for them and they only can meet on Friday afternoon after work, well, that's fine. You could go do that. But not every Friday afternoon after work, and you're not available 24/7. So you just go, we're just not available during this time, and you just don't answer your phone. And that's perfectly, you can build a custom house for people, and they get their questions answered and their concerns addressed, and perfectly fine in a normal work week without being available all the time. You just got to change your customer expectations. Let me give you an example of that. Okay, a different world, but a similar thing. Most customer service lines are the people the people receiving the calls are trained by stupid people that say stuff like, the customer's always right, and no matter how abusive they are, you have to put up with them. If you call the Ramsey concierge team, we will be kind to you. We will answer your question. We will serve you. Under no circumstances will we allow you to mistreat our people inside this building. I have taught them to fire your butt as a customer if you're going to be a butt to one of them. I said, listen, we'll just give you your money back, and you don't need one of our books. You need to spend that money on counseling because you have a rage problem. And so move on. And so we just don't accept the normal customer service model. We serve our customers while we maintain our dignity and allow them to do the same. And so you can serve them without being available 24/7.
I just really want a segment now where Dave takes customer service calls. That would make me really happy.
It wouldn't make them happy.
To Dave's point, I just think there's a lot of risk in switching the business, and you may not see any income from this investment property for months and months and months, putting you guys in a lurch. And so I like the idea of continuing this side first.
Yeah.
That's our biggest concern.
Yeah, it puts too much pressure on the deal. Anytime you get pressure on the deal, you give the house away.
Right.
We got to move this thing. We got to get our cash freed up, and if you don't have to, you don't have to become a motivated seller. And when you're not a motivated seller, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What's your thoughts about like the market right now? Like, I've heard you say prices are just going to keep going up, and we've actually found a good deal. We think a property for $42,000. We think we could put all in at $100 and probably sell it for $220. Do you see buyers? Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot of work.
That's the hope.
That's a big rehab.
It is a lot of work.
That's a big rehab.
It is a lot of work.
Okay.
But my concern is
I wouldn't want that to be my only job.
Okay.
I think your husband keeps some contracting going. Maybe he takes less of it and fewer jobs at better margins, and he sets the hours like I'm talking about, and you set your customers' expectations reasonably while you do this rehab. Maybe you cut back 25, 30% on his side, and then you do this rehab. That's fine. But I wouldn't just turn one off and turn on the other. Whether the market's hot or not, that's not a reflection of the market. It's a business model issue for me. Your business model should be that you need to proof text your ability to do these rehabs, because a rehab the size you're talking about doing, if you miss the estimate on that rehab, it's an extra month and an extra $25,000. You're about to blow your profit margin.
Right.
And so I like to do stuff with minimal rehabs for flips. A heavy rehab is much higher risk on a flip because it takes longer and you might miss the estimate. Because I used to buy these stinking historic houses and they don't build them like they used to. Thank God. And we would open up a wall, and inside that wall, we thought we were just going to, run some wire or change out some plaster for some drywall or something. And, oh, my God, you open up the wall, and you got to rebuild the whole freaking thing because it's just a disaster back there. And that was not in the estimate. You can't tell that till you open up the wall. And
so you
got twisted lumber from 1902 that they put in there green because there was a building boom, and they didn't even let the lumber properly dry out, properly aged before they put it in the dadgum house, and it looks like a pretzel in there.
But on paper, your plan seemed great.
Yeah, my estimates had all kinds of margin in them.
Yeah.
But now you've got now I got a whole nother wall I got to build, and so it's just that can't tell you how many times that happened.
Chip and Joanna
that was 30 years ago, 35 years ago, and you can still tell I'm pissed about it. But yeah, but so that's what you're facing. So take your time. Don't bet the entire income of your household or the future of your income of your household on this one deal, and let this deal kind of stand out there on its own, and you'll do better with it. But I love what you're doing. You're paying cash for it. You're industrious people. You're hardworking people.
I like the plan overall.
I think you're going to be great. But just do a couple of those things we're talking about there, and I think it's going to work out perfectly for you. Good hour, George. Well done.
Fun times. Thank you.
That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.